At D23, Disney appears to have unveiled a new technology that they're going to be using in the parks. It's an interactive 2D animated Mickey Mouse. It's also leaving fans with an unsettling feeling right in that uncanny valley. Is this good or is this awful? Let's talk about it on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is fellow not going to D23 person, Mr. VashSky. Vash, how's your day not at D23 today?
Oh, it is so relaxing. Oh my goodness gracious, I can have all the food and drink that I want. I can take showers on a consistent basis and not have to be in rooms with many people who haven't. I feel just great, Jonas.
Yeah. There is something very great about going to conventions, and there is something truly awful about going to conventions at the same time. I'm not saying we'll never go to D23, but let's talk about this video that's making the rounds out of D23. As you can see, this video is from allears.net, and it is, I believe if you click it, it'll link back to their Twitter handle here. But let's open this fella up and take a look at what's going on the floor there.
How's he set up in here?
Isn't this pretty nice?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It looks really cool. Well, Mickey, I've got a few questions for you. You're kind of the big cheese, so
Sure,
it's kind of a big
alright.
deal. I'm nervous, but you're nice.
Oh, don't be nervous, pal. It's just me.
Yeah, it's just you.
What's your name? Let's start with questions on for you.
I'm Quincy, and I'm a really big fan. Whole life.
Well, hi, Quincy. I'm a big fan of yours. I appreciate you coming by to see me today.
Thank you, Mickey.
No need to be nervous.
Well, you have been, making magic for a really long time. Maybe one of the longest magic makers there is. So I'd like to know, what's maybe one of your favorite magic making memories that you've had just as you've been doing so?
Gosh, it's so hard to choose just one. So many great adventures and
All right, so that's the entire video right there. Before we get into it, there is another clip out there of basically this ending with how he owes it all to Walt. There's so many different aspects that we could talk about here. Let's start with the animation aspect of this. This is obviously motion capture as opposed to animation. So that illusion of life right there, they're kind of violating some of the principles of animation. I get it. It's interesting. It's not quite the same as a cartoon animal head like you might see in the parks. It also is lifeless in the same way that a cartoon animal head would be in the park. So before we talk about the specific quirks of this animation and the motion capture suit here, I am going to point out, obviously, the guys in the parks, their eyes don't move either. Sometimes they blink, but this is a little different.
Absolutely. I think the animation quality on this, I mean, if we can even call it animation, I think it's, I think that the consensus is that it's mixed, and I would have to agree with that. There are aspects of it that just don't work very well. You can see when Mickey kind of bends his head up, his whole head shifts in which to reflect that change there, and it just doesn't look very good. It just looks a little, like you said before, Uncanny Valley, but Uncanny Valley usually is you're replicating humanoid faces or human faces. In this way, it's just, you could just tell it just doesn't look right.
Right, and they've done a good job with the mouth itself and the fixed positions of the different vocal positions that would be here. But looking at this, let's start with the feet. In a motion capture rig, I'm not exactly sure what the squirminess, what exactly is being translated here. Whether or not this is, I believe it's Brett Iwan who's doing the vocal performance here. That's just a guess, and I think it's him. I'm pretty sure it's not Christian Dimitopoulos, who's the other main Mickey voice actor right now. There's a little tricks that they're doing here. Him swinging his hands back and forth is not exactly anti-Mickey, but the fact that his hands don't move in a regular way, like the thumbs seem to be independent of it's either open palm or closed palm. Also the ears, there's a cheat. Whenever you animate Mickey Mouse, his ears are always 2D with the full black circle. So that's something that I think that from a technical standpoint, they're having to do here. And of course, when you point it out, people, it's hard to unsee once you know that it's there. But there are so many things here that are not quite what they need to be for the animation of Mickey. Mickey has life, and this is about the same level of performance as you would expect from a VTuber, in my opinion. So it's not exactly, quote unquote, Mickey come to life. to me.
No, I think I would agree with that assessment right here. And so the question becomes, why are they in fact doing this? Why are they going this way? One could argue that maybe we could utilize an actor who maybe has his voice translated via AI in order to give a reasonable impression of that voice and that vocal performance for meet and greets and so forth. That's a possibility. The other thing too, you have to think with the rise in labor costs, right? With the rise in the amount that the company allocates towards expenditures like labor, we have to think that, well, what if we could get maybe around some of those issues by having to just hire people within the proximity of the parks? What if we could actually, hire anybody in the world to play these roles outside of the purviews of the union? That, I think, is one of the potentialities for this technology that we're seeing here and why Disney might be interested in this. We already know they're interested in some version of this via the PhotoPass, for example. PhotoPass, instead of having individual photographers, they're trying out systems in which maybe there's not a photographer at all, or if there is, maybe it would be a photographer manning potentially dozens of cameras instead of just one.
Yeah, and well, if they're manning a camera that's just posted to the wall, I've heard people who were former PhotoPass photographers talk about all the things they would do to make sure nothing inappropriate ended up in pictures. And you can't do that when it's just a thing on the wall there. Right. Another aspect, we're going to talk about a better version of this that is at D23 as well. We're very focused on the Mickey Mouse one because Mickey is to the point of not just being a copyright of the Walt Disney Corporation, he's a trademark of the Walt Disney Corporation here. So I think that this is actually Brett Iwan that's doing this and not someone doing the voice in AI. There are certain aspects to the performance that I think are the actual actor back there. There's some other things that I want to point out. There is the boom mic that is in the right-hand portion here. I don't know if that is allears.net or if that's the Disney company. Multiple outlets have asked pretty much the same question or some form of that same question. I don't know if those outlets stole another outlet's clip and just ended up not thinking about that, but I'm getting the idea that people were fed a question to ask Mickey here. So I don't know that this particular actor is as good on his feet. He doesn't have an acting background before Disney here. I also don't particularly like the fact that this is trading on nostalgia. They have a grown-up here, and this is at an event that is pretty much, I don't want to say it's grown-ups only. You can get into the event as a child, I think. But this is pretty much an adults-only event just because of the cost restrictions and the nature of it being a Comic-Con. I feel like this is just kind of where Disney is right now, using Mickey Mouse as nostalgia for grown-ups at a very high expense with technology that is not quite ready for the primetime stage.
I do agree. And maybe that's why it's at a venue like D23 and not maybe implemented in the parks officially. They test a lot of stuff out at D23 with an audience who kind of understands what they're in for and what this is all about. So it wouldn't, maybe this is some big test. Also, too, Jonas, are we confident that they're limiting this to just mocap? Perhaps a fully digital character that is completely synthetic is in the future.
I don't know. Now, there is one that I want to point out here. There is a much better version of this that I've referenced a few times here. Let's go to the Rocket Raccoon one, which if there's a fully realized version of this, it's the Rocket Raccoon one. And whoever it is that's playing Rocket Raccoon, they do a fantastic job of it. And I'm not trying to rag on Brett Iwan here. I think he does a pretty good impression of Mickey Mouse. And that is a character that doesn't have to have a lot of depth, but this character over here has the opportunity of being a little bit more sassy. So let's open this up and let's see where it goes here.
IGN.
Yeah, it's like
none of that sounds familiar. Is that a ship?
Kind of, yeah. You're on our website.
You know who I am then?
Of course.
The good people on the good ship IGN, though.
Also pointing out that surprise reads a lot better on this raccoon face than it does on the 2D animated Mickey face.
Know who I am. So when do I get to captain this ship, the IGN?
Well, there is a TVA agent here who is, I think, about to prune me. So sorry I can't help you out. I'm getting arrested.
You're getting arrested?
Yeah, from the
Oh, yeah. Look, if you wind up at the kiln, I know a way out. Yeah, there's a battery on the wall. You know what? I'll get you the information later.
Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you so much. I will see you soon.
Yeah.
This is great, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a perfect implementation of this technology. First of all, he's a sassy character. The CGI is very well done. You don't actually know where the eyes are looking because it's you can barely see the white part of the eyes, and so that doesn't really enter into it. And the facial expression is fully captured here on the raccoon. Nobody knows what a talking raccoon surprised would look like. There's going to be somebody in the comments that has a pet raccoon that's going to disagree with me. But you guys cut me a little slack on that statement here. The ears and everything else on the face is doing the work on the expression, which is lifeless on the Mickey mocap puppet and is really good here. Also, whoever it is obviously very comfortable playing Rocket Raccoon in this instance.
Yes, very comfortable, and I think the references and what is it, the kind of in-universe references where he's definitely part of the Marvel world and he's saying, hey, is that a ship or something like that? That's the context for which the framework from which he actually draws upon references and so forth. Like that's pretty good. I will say the mouth, it could use just a little bit of work. It probably opens a little bit too wide in some cases, but this is very, very good. Everybody was very excited about this particular instance of this same interactive technology. We've seen living character initiatives at D23 in the past. I believe the Great Destino was one of them, and a couple of others that have come and gone. So if this is something that they're thinking about maybe implementing in the parks, this is about as show ready as I've seen so far.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now, the question that I want to throw to our commenters here is, what do you think about this technology? The Rocket Raccoon one, I'm in the camp that they did it, that this is knocking it out of the park. The interaction is great, even though it's the same thing. It's a media interaction. It comes off in a way that is surprising and fun and in tune with the character. Whereas the Mickey Mouse one just doesn't quite feel right. Is it the actor? Is it the technology? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be nice. I mean, these are all people trying their best, except for the corporate overlords who are trying to pump you for money using your favorable memories of your childhood. But that being said, like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to That Park Plays for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.